What's up? I'm Steve with Legaci. We're going to make a couple videos to give you some ideas and some tips on how to make it through this coronavirus thing with less stress, less headaches, and making sure that your kids are not taking the emotional brunt of the things we can't handle. So like, share, and subscribe. Some of these things might seem super fundamental to you, but they'll be mind-awakening and earth-shattering to the people that need to hear them. Have a great day, peeps. What was your biggest fear when you was a kid? Like, what was the first time you really felt that oh shit moment, where you realized that something wasn't right, what I mean, and things could be really terrible, I hope you can dig that. I hope you can sip that type of Kool-Aid. You don't have to be the person that bullies your way through life stresses. You don't have to be the person that chooses the bad side of yourself when things get crazy. So, I want you to think back to the first time that you can remember that you felt absolutely horrified as a child, where you felt absolutely just scared out of your wits and mind. I want you to think about that moment. Now, some of us don't have someone to rescue us from those moments, but if you did, I want you to remember how good that felt that someone came to you, in your moment of fear and they made you feel better. You've got an opportunity with your kids. You've got an opportunity with your children to be that person that comes to them in that moment of fear, because this is very scary for them. And as easy as it is to get wound up in the preparations and the stress of not being able to go to your job and having to pay these bills, you've got to remember to take time for your children. You've got to remember that your children are not your emotional punching bags. So it sucks. Everybody's got to be locked down and social distancing for this coronavirus thing. As stressed out and as frustrated as you are, you can choose love and you can be that person for your own kid in so many more ways and ease their fears about this whole coronavirus thing. So you've got to understand that you control the atmosphere of your home as it pertains to your kids. Doesn't mean that you don't have bad moments. And shit, if your kids see you break down or melt down, they can see the perfect example of how to build yourself back up. And they'll probably love you there and be there more for you than you could ever imagine. But while this is going on, you've got to facilitate an atmosphere of love. You've got to facilitate an atmosphere of safety for these kids. You got to make sure that you're addressing and listening to the little cues that they give you, letting them have a voice. And if you don't know the difference, educate yourself today on the differences in psychological, mental, and physical abuse, verbal abuse. Understand and know what your behavior does to the people around you. You've got a wonderful opportunity right now while you're in this moment. While you're in this moment, you can use this opportunity to fix anything you want to about yourself and the relationships of the people that love you. The very reason that you go to work in the first place. But it's got to start with how you're treating your children. And it's got to start with you being able to build a cloud of happiness and a cloud of positivity around this stuff. But it's got to start with how you're treating your children. And it's got to start with you being able to build a cloud of happiness and a cloud of positivity around this stuff. It can sneak up on you, and it's easy as a parent to emotionally dump your stress and your worries onto your children. But I want you to know what it feels like to be that light. I want you to know what it feels like to be that umbrella, to be that safety catch for them. You don't have to worry about the weight of responsibility. You don't have to be a superhero. All you have to do is listen and deliver them with love and deliver them with kindness and deliver them with an open ear so that you're approachable as a parent. And that's parenting one-on-one. Keep in mind all the stress that you deal with. Your children are looking up at you as an example of how you treat other people that you say you love. The way you treat your wife or the way you treat your husband, the way you speak to them. Your behavior is going to say so much more about that than anything else. I challenge you to be strong enough today that when your frustration tries to get the best of you, that you respond to the people that love you with an air of graciousness, an air of gratefulness. Understand your emotions and your energy is so contagious to your children. They pick up on that. You don't have to say a word. So make that energy love. Make that energy gratefulness. And if you really can't handle the stress of what's going on, that doesn't mean you're a weak person. But you got to take actions to try to get on top of that stuff so that the people around you don't have to suffer your grief. Develop your own routine. You're at home now. The body loves routine. Write yourself a schedule hour by hour and try to stick by it. Don't make the edges of your schedule with a knife because things are willy-nilly right now, But try to get yourself a personal routine down and do things that are going to help you not be as stressed. So be mindful and be observant of your children and how they might be scared, and make sure that you're facilitating and building an atmosphere of love and kindness, something that they're going to feel safe from. I want you to know what that feels like when you're that person that creates that. Create that atmosphere of kindness through the way that you talk and act around the people that are around you right now. We got a long haul, so pace yourself and be considerate of others, but especially your children in the way that they feel. Take the power that you have to control the atmosphere very seriously, and don't make this a terrible, horrible thing for them. Don't bring them horror in this. Didn't have someone that made your life better or saved you from that scary moment when you was a child? Then be that person that you didn't have. And if you had somebody, be that person and create that feeling that you got from that person, right? About being grateful. Think about how much you've lost up to this point. So be grateful what you have. Because if you lose more, right, and you're still not grateful, and then you lose more and you're still not grateful, that's not going to work. So be grateful at whatever level you're at, because you can always lose more. And it doesn't mean it's easy. Don't mean it'll always work. I hope you can dig that. I hope you can sip that type of Kool-Aid. This thing that we're going through won't feel so heavy, especially to your kids. Know the power you have in making that right for them. Know the power you have, and take that seriously, and the ability to take that fear away. A moment where even if you remember it as a tragedy, they'll remember it as that time where they got to hang out with their family and do all this cool stuff, and they finally got to know who their pops was or who their mom was, you know? What your children see through this are going to stay with them for the rest of their life. So be mindful of the seeds you plant, because you will reap what you sow. And peeps, be safe out there. You know what I say. It's free to be kind. Yeah, yeah.